Hi, welcome to the Health Spot, and here we are with Diet Roulette. Welcome to the story of my life. I started in 1969 when I was in high school, and I went on the Stillman diet. You think carnivores knew? The Stillman diet was basically carnivore with no fat. Oh, they added some skim milk cottage cheese. It didn't take me long to see that that wasn't going to be the way to go. Then Dr. Atkins came out with his diet revolution. I know he had one just a few years ago, but the original was in the early 70s. And with this one, it was low carb. It was like Stillman, but he didn't limit fat. So it had more variety in that way, but still, you still couldn't eat. Oh, he added a couple of lettuce salads to it. Then I went to dental school, and I still had 40 pounds I wanted to lose. So I went to the medical center library at Georgetown Medical School, and I did research. I found the original Mayo diet. I did all of that. I added a lot of fiber to my diet. And in a period of about 6 to 9 months, I lost 30 pounds. That was great. But I really wanted to get those last 10 pounds off. So I decided to, when I got back, this is the mid-80s, after I was practicing dentistry, and I thought, well, I'll go on a kind of a balanced diet. This one seems really reasonable. Now remember, this is the mid-80s. This was the first time a diet book ever mentioned exercise. Not one that I saw was mentioned exercise in all the diet books I ever saw at that time. And he was advocating the walking and everything. Well, it kind of worked, but it kind of didn't. I never lost the 10 pounds. So then I was getting frustrated. So then look what book came out, Diets Don't Work. I was really believing it. I was starting to really believe it. He advocated throwing away your scale. I didn't. And he also advocated just eating anything you want, just judging by your gut, by your hunger, whether you should eat or not. It didn't work for me because there's no appetite control when I was able to eat whatever I wanted. But there was another concept in the book that I never let go of, and that was the idea of becoming naturally thin. And if you want to lose weight, don't listen to the gurus and the so-called experts. Look at naturally thin people, how they live their lives, and then live your life that way. Well, that was really good advice. And one of the things naturally thin people do, they don't weigh themselves. Sometimes they even forget to eat. I never thought that would be me, but I do. There are times I even forget to eat. Okay, so then I moved on to the rotation diet over here. This was the same author as this book, but he came out with a popular quick loss cycling idea. Not good. It wasn't anything you could ever sustain. So after that, I'm back. Look who wrote another book. Diets Don't Work. They still don't work. And I believed it then too. There was really nothing new in the book. It was just written 5 years later. And then I still didn't get rid of my scale, but I still wished I could become naturally thin. And then I got a bout of IBS. There was a lot of stress in my life, a lot of things going on. And I was fortunate enough to go to a seminar with Dr. John McDougall. And I went on his diet. It wasn't this book, it was the program. He's come up with many, many books, but they all center around strict vegan. I was a strict vegan for 2.5 years, but with hindsight, I healed my gut in 2 years, but with hindsight, I believe that the reason my gut healed is that I completely eliminated dairy. The cow's milk dairy is the problem. So then after I stabilized, I went back on, I didn't go on Dr. Atkins' new diet revolution. Honestly, there was nothing new about it. You'll find these people will write multiple books that just have just a little bit of a slant on them, but they're not really different. Well, I just incorporated a low carb lifestyle. I wasn't real severe with it. I threw away my scale. I started going by my appetite. I followed that, and within, it didn't take very long for me to be really stable. I never gained any weight. I was good. I was maintaining my 10 pounds loss. Well, 5 pounds of it. I was maintaining 5 to 10. I didn't weigh myself, so I didn't know. And I really thought there was nothing new under the sun. But then I got another bout of IBS. This is 35 years after I'd had my other one. So this time I had been at a continuing education seminar on nutrition and inflammation. And I'd been to that seminar 5 years prior, and they were discussing leaky gut. And I was interested, but I didn't go in and do any research because my body was really stable and I didn't want to mess with anything. Well, I went back to the research for that, and when I got that bout, and I took away all my lectins. I took away all the lectins. I switched to goat's milk. I was asymptomatic in 2 weeks. I didn't completely heal in 2 weeks, but I was asymptomatic. So when I did that with the low lectins, I have never had such a flat stomach. I've never felt so good. It even made it possible for me to build up more glutes because it wasn't all congested around my intestines where all those toxins were leaking into my system. So I'm talking more about all this in my book because this is the book to get, okay? It's not even thick. This is a book about a lifestyle because the lifestyle is what you're going to live the rest of your life. So if you start with little incremental steps, design your own lifestyle, you're going to be living it the rest of your life, make that long-term investment, and get to the point where it comes naturally to you and you've established it as a habit. That's when you succeed. Hey, thanks for listening. And if you please subscribe and check out my book. Thanks.